William Monsieur Bulger. In today's video we'll learn about William Monsieur Bulger, going through the sections: abstract, early life, political career, president of the University of Massachusetts system, controversy over brother, active retirement and family, external links. Abstract. William Michael Bulger, born February 2, 1934, is an American former Democratic politician, lawyer, and educator from South Boston, Massachusetts. His 18-year tenure as president of the Massachusetts Senate is the longest in history. He then became president of the University of Massachusetts. Bulger came from Old Harbor Village Housing Development, now more commonly known as the Mary Ellen McCormick Housing Development. Despite coming from an impoverished family, he tested well enough to get into the prestigious Boston College High School, where he graduated in 1952. Bulger earned the prestigious title of Triple Eagle when he graduated in the classics at BC, and then BC Law. Despite his brother's infamy as the convicted mob boss James "Whitey" Bulger, who led the Winter Hill Gang, investigators have never uncovered any evidence that the two brothers colluded. In 2003 he testified in a congressional hearing about communications he had with his then fugitive brother. Due to the negative publicity, he was forced to resign from the presidency of the University of Massachusetts. Bulger went on to teach as a visiting scholar at Suffolk University, but has since removed himself from public life. Bulger is now retired and lives with his wife in South Boston's City Point section. This project compresses information gathered from Wikipedia in video format. Why should I watch it? Studies prove that reading while listening improves comprehension, increases speed as well as expands vocabulary and enhances fluency. Provide your feedback on the comments section. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Thanks. Early life. William Bulger's father, James Joseph Bulger Sr., was from Harbor Grace, Newfoundland. After settling in Everett, Massachusetts, James Sr. married Jane Veronica Jean McCarthy, a first-generation Irish immigrant. William Bulger was born in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and is the third of 6 children in the family, and younger brother of former mob boss James Joseph "Whitey" Bulger Jr. 19,292,018. Bulger's father worked as a union laborer and occasional longshoreman. He lost his arm in an industrial accident, 48, and the family was reduced to poverty, 49, in May 1938. When Bulger was 4 years old, the family moved to South Boston's Old Harbor Village housing project. Soon after it opened, he grew up there and has maintained lifelong friendships with many of those who were his former neighbors, including best friend, Korean War Marine POW and Purple Heart recipient Fred L. Toomey, the late Congressman Joe Moakley, 19,272,001, was also a close childhood neighbor. Although the Bulger family was poor, William matriculated into Boston College High School. He enrolled at Boston College in 1952, but his undergraduate career was interrupted when he joined the United States Army. He served from September 1953 to November 1955, then returned to Boston College, completing his undergraduate degree in English literature with the help of the GI Bill. He attended Boston College Law School, from which he received his Doctor of Jurisprudence degree in 1961. He is also the recipient of over 20 honorary degrees from a variety of academic institutions. Political career. Bulger became interested in politics in 1959 and was first elected to the Massachusetts House of Representatives as a Democrat in 1960. After serving 5 terms, Bulger was elected to the Massachusetts State Senate in 1970, representing the 1st Suffolk District. In 1973 he was named second assistant floor majority leader, after Joseph DiCarlo's conviction for extortion in 1977. Bulger succeeded him as Senate Majority Leader. Bulger was elected president of the Massachusetts State Senate in 1978 and was re-elected every 2 years to 1996, making his time as state Senate president the longest tenure in Massachusetts history. Bulger joined other Irish-American neighborhood leaders in opposition to court-ordered desegregated busing. Like other Massachusetts politicians who were elected leaders of their legislative chambers, Bulger was frequently pilloried in the media, but remained very popular in his district. He won his district election every 2 years from 1961 to 1994 without ever facing a challenge more serious than he faced in the Democratic primary in 1988. When Stephen Holt, a neophyte liberal activist and bookstore owner from Dorchester, won 31 out of 60 precincts, only to lose the district by a landslide due to the huge turnout of Bulger supporters in South Boston. For many years, Bulger hosted the annual St. Patrick's Day breakfast in South Boston. This is a roast of politicians. During the 1960s, he led efforts to write the first child abuse reporting laws in the state. He was supportive of environmental protection legislation. Bulger was among the first advocates of charter schools and public school choice. During the 1980s, he advocated funding of public libraries, the expansion of childhood nutrition services and fuel assistance programs. As Senate President, Bulger led the debate on welfare reform in the early 1990s, with the resulting legislation becoming the model for a national law. President of the University of Massachusetts System, Bulger was appointed president of the University of Massachusetts by the Board of Trustees on November 28, 1995. His candidacy for the UMass position was supported by Governor William Weld. The appointment was controversial in academic circles, as Bulger had no prior experience in higher education, and lacked the academic doctoral degree usually required for the presidency of a major state university system. On August 6, 2003, Bulger announced that he would resign as president of the system effective September 1, 2003. His resignation came due to pressure from Governor Mitt Romney after Bulger had refused to cooperate with authorities who were searching for Bulger's brother, the notorious mobster James Whitey Bulger. Jack Wilson, vice president for academic and student affairs, who had come to UMass from the post of J. Eric Johnson Distinguished Professor at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to create UMass Online, was tapped to be the interim president. Wilson was appointed as the president in March 2004 after the conclusion of a national search controversy over brother. Bulger's older brother James Whitey Bulger Jr. was a convicted crime boss and multiple murderer, and the former boss of the Winter Hill Gang. Whitey was a fugitive from 1995 until his arrest in June 2011. In 1999, Whitey's longtime aide, Kevin Weeks, pleaded guilty to a number of charges related to Whitey's crime spree and became a cooperating witness. Weeks revealed that in 1995, William talked to Whitey during an arranged phone conversation just 2 weeks after Whitey fled a pending racketeering indictment. William was called before a grand jury in April 2001 and admitted to talking with his brother. When asked why he didn't urge Whitey to turn himself in, William replied that he didn't feel it was in his brother's best interest to give himself up at their time. After portions of Bulger's testimony were published in the Boston Globe, he testified to a congressional committee about the incident on June 19, 2003 after being granted immunity from prosecution for obstruction of justice. Bulger revealed that he went to an arranged location in 1995 to take a call from his fugitive brother, apparently to avoid electronic eavesdropping. He claimed that not notifying authorities about the call was in no way inconsistent with my devotion to my own responsibilities, my public responsibilities, as state Senate president. During the hearing, when asked what he thought James Whitey did for a living, William Bulger said, "I had the feeling that he was in the business of gaming and whatever. It was vague to me, but I didn't think For a long while he had some jobs, but ultimately it was clear that he was not being, he wasn't doing what I'd like him to do. He added that he loved his brother and hoped that the most brutal rumors concerning him would be proven false. Bulger came under harsh criticism for his apparent evasiveness, and Governor Mitt Romney, among others, demanded his resignation as president of the University of Massachusetts. Under pressure from all quarters, Bulger resigned in the fall of 2003. Bulger also testified that the FBI never asked if he knew of Whitey's location. Those remarks were disputed by a former FBI agent who claimed Bulger declined to submit to an interview with the FBI. Months later, the committee report found Bulger's testimony inconsistent about whether the FBI had contacted him in its search for his fugitive brother. Upon Whitey's arrest in California in June 2011, William Bulger issued a statement expressing his sympathies to the families hurt in the case, and asking for privacy for his family, active retirement and family. Bulger is a past president of the Boston Public Library and past member of the Board of Trustees. He is also overseer emeritus of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. In addition, he is a former member of the Massachusetts General Hospital Board of Trustees, Museum of Fine Arts Board of Trustees, and McLean Hospital Board of Trustees. He joined the faculties of Boston College and Suffolk University as a lecturer of political science. In 2004, Bulger lives in South Boston with Mary Foley, his wife, whom he married in 1960. According to the Massachusetts Open Checkbook list of state pensions, Bulger's pension from Massachusetts for his position as University of Massachusetts president ranged from $198,926 to $201,266 for the years 2011 to 2019.